Hello, dear everyone. This is Muhammad Tayyib, Associate Professor of Pakistan Studies and Political Science Department from Northern University, Nowshera. I hope my lectures on these subjects will keep you engaged with the various dynamics of the related topics. My aim is to elaborate the question and study more than the requirements of the students. Today, the topic of my lecture is assessing Pakistan's development. And then many other subtopics will be covered throughout this lecture. Subject is political economy of Pakistan, and you are well aware, dear students, that political economy, the modern terminologies of this political economy brought into the concept in 19th century. But in 18th century, the term political economy emerged as a study of the modern productive relations with the economics of bourgeois and political states. In 19th century, political economy branched out into the separate fields of political science and economics, and consequently the study of the connection between productive relations and the state became further estranged from both academic specialization. And dear students, you are well aware that what are the objectives of this particular subject. So, in a nutshell, we are having three core objectives of this subject. The one is to familiarize students with the same of the important debates within the subject of the political economy in relationship to Pakistan. Two, deepen understanding of the history of macroeconomic policies and economic development in Pakistan. Third one, attempt to form a holistic picture of the connection between economic and political development of the country. So dear students, I am going to recommend you books for political economy of Pakistan. So you must purchase the book which is written by Akbar Zaidi, and the title of the book is Issues in Pakistan Economy. Arshad Zaman Economic Strategies and Policies in Pakistan, and Easterly William Political Economy of Growth within Development. So dear students, Pakistan economy. Since Pakistan came into being in 1947, the economy of Pakistan has emerged as a semi-industrialized and based heavily on textile industries. But the base of Pakistan's economy right from the first day was on agriculture. Pakistan's population at the time of partition was 30 million, and it was increased to 130 million in 1996. Despite of all these problems, that the rate of population was increasing, 100 million people were increased in the population of Pakistan in the beginning of the 44 decades from 1947 to 1996. But Pakistan recorded growth in the first 4 decades. Annual real GDP growth rate for 6.8 in 1960, 4.8 in 70, 6.5 in 80s, and average fell 4.6 in 1990s. Pakistan has maintained a freely healthy functional economy in the face of several wars, changing demographies, and transfer of power between civilian and military regimes. During 1960s, Pakistan was seen as a model of economic development around the world, and there was much praise for its rapid progress. Many countries sought to emulate Pakistan's economic planning strategy, including South Korea, which replicated the city of Karachi second 5 years plan. laying the foundation from 1947 to 1958 is the inception. In 1947, Pakistan had predominantly agrarian economy. Agriculture contributed 53% of the GDP in 1947 and 53.2% GDP in 1949 and 50. Pakistan has population 30 million with 6 million people living in urban areas. So the percentage of the urban areas is 35% and 65% people they were living in the rural areas. And the labor force working in agriculture sector and agriculture output contributing 99.2% of export and out of 90% of Pakistan foreign exchange earning. Pakistan had per capita income $360 in 1985. Poverty incident ranged from at least 55 to 60% in West Pakistan, and from 1949 to 50, Pakistan registered a national saving rate 2%, and investment 4%. What were the critical role that play in the first phase of the period from August 1947 to 1958? What were the critical factors? So, those factors which affected Pakistan's economy badly were these are under. The initial years after independence and the flow of refugees in the country. One was the refugees problem. Second was not to devalue the currency in September 1949, which created many issues. I will later on explain in the coming slides. The years from mid 1950 to 52, when as result Korean War, and the decision 1952 impose import control, the collapse of Korean boom. In 1954, joining military pacts that SEATO and CENTO, which Pakistan led toward that till now Pakistan is depending on other countries' aid. In 1955, the decision to devalue the currency and the military coup in 1958. These were the critical problems which play their role. Problems after partition. So number one, the huge number of refugees which migrated from India to Pakistan. Around 7 million refugees they came to Pakistan, 5.6 million migrated from Pakistan to India. So the central government expenditure on refugees in 1958 was almost 491 million rupees. Next one, the flood, and next in order, the artisans and craftsmen, they were given a finance was established for them with the name of Refugees Rehabilitation Finance Corporation to provide credit facilities, give 17 million in loans, 3 million in industrial colonies, and 4 million supply raw material, and 12 million refugees at cheap rates loan were given. So central government, after loan grants and aid, center also imposed special taxes. Funds yielded 119 million till March 1959. Initial conditions. Then agriculture stagnation and policies. So from 1947 to 58. The biggest policy failure in Pakistan early years was agriculture failure. As Pakistan was an agrarian country, but no contribution and no concentration was given at the beginning on the strengthening of industrial sectors of agriculture sector of Pakistan. Policy maker in the year immediately after the partition preoccupied the stimulating industry growth which had lagged behind in area comprising Pakistan. Anti-agriculture policies biased and anti-agriculture terms of trade between industry and agriculture caused annual agriculture rate was declined from 2.6% in 1949, 50 and 51 to 1.9% in 57, 58 and 59. Policy maker led more emphasis on industrial growth. The root cause of the problem was severe floods. Another problem, these were humanitarian problems, and the natural problems were those in the initial years in the agriculture sector of Pakistan. 1948, floods occurred in Sindh and Punjab. Agriculture for economy as a whole grew 1.7%. Flood adversely affected food grain shortage. In 1951, the failure of monsoon, continued drought condition, locust attack and disastrous wheat crop harvest. So Pakistan imported their food item from USA, Canada and Australia. Industrial growth. The government played an important direct role in the country industrialization program. Government's industries policy statement issued in April 1948 emphasized particularly manufacture goods based on the domestic raw material. Manufacture of cotton, textile for the home market presented attractive opportunity. There was ranging increase in the production of sugar, cigarette, vegetable, ghee, cement, etc. In 1947 and 58, the average annual growth was 19%. Jute industry was set up in East Pakistan in late 50s. A large demand for domestic market was created by imposing imports control and for the early entrants who could charge monopoly prices. High profit, high saving and high investment, high rates of growth were the main features of industrial development in the earlier years. Agriculture grew at rate of 1.6 per annum and manufacturing grew 7.7 per annum in 50s. In 1959 and 60 per capita GNP, R is 355 in West Pakistan and R is 269 in East Pakistan. So dear students, financing of development, non-devaluation decision of September 1949, the main motivation behind this non-devaluation was to be able to sell raw jute to Indian industry at higher prices. As a result of this, India suspended trade, not accepting the value of Pakistani currency, and trade deadlock ensued. Decision not to devalue currency lead to selective import control on the economy. These import control became a powerful lever in the hands of government to affect and influence resource allocation in the domestic market. So dear students, next you will cover defense of the country. After independence, the major tension with neighboring India was on Kashmir conflict. This led to firm commitment on the part of the government to give high priority to strengthening the country's defense capabilities. This was done by setting aside major portion of the country revenue for building up the defense force. Huge amount is spent on defense of the country. In 1954, Pakistan signed a mutual defense agreement with the United, under which the US government started providing military assistance. Institutional growth. As you know that institutions are played vital role in the development of a country, so in the early phase of Pakistan, concentration was given in the establishing of different institutions. So first of all, State Bank of Pakistan was established in 1948. Institution growth was very rapid. Establishment of PIFCO, Pakistan Industrial Finance Corporation, in 1949, later changed IDBP Industrial Development Bank of Pakistan, ABFC Agriculture Development Finance Corporation in 1949, later changed ADBP Agriculture Development Bank of Pakistan, National Bank of Pakistan in 1949, PIDC Pakistan Industrial Development Corporation in 1952. The major objective of PIDC was to help establish industries which were handed over to private sector with they were completed. PIA in 1959 and WAPDA in 1958. So ڈیئر اسٹوڈنٹس، آپ لوگوں نے دیکھا کہ جس طریقے سے ادارے کسی بھی ملک کے لیے اہم ہوتے ہیں، اور اسی طریقے سے پاکستان کے جو انڈسٹریز ہیں، انسٹیٹیوشن ہیں، وہ اکارڈنگلی بنتے رہے. And introduction of the medium term planning. Colombo Plan 1951-57 is a 6-year developmental plan undertaken by Korean War. First 5-year plan was given from 1955 to 60. Although a very impressive document was never seriously implemented, it was officially published in late 1957 and was never given formal approval by the legislation. Martial law implemented in the country in 1959. تو محترم اسٹوڈنٹس اینڈ ادر ویورز، آپ لوگوں نے دیکھا کہ ہم نے پاکستانی اکانومی کو کور کیا، اور اس کا پہلا فیز جو میں نے اڈاپٹ کیا ہے وہ 1947 سے لے کر 1958 تک تھا. اس میں ہم نے میجر چیزیں یہ کور کی ہیں کہ پاکستانی اکانومی کو اوور ویو کیا ہے فرام 1947 سے لے کر 1958 تک. پھر ہم نے دیکھا کہ وہ کون سے عوامل تھے، فیکٹرز تھے جنہوں نے پاکستانی اکانومی کو افیکٹ کیا، وہ ہم نے ڈسکس کیا. اور پھر میجر پرابلمز کیا تھی اکانومی میں جب ہم بگننگ میں آئے تو وہ کیا تھی. اور پھر ہم نے ایگریکلچر سیکٹر کو کور کیا کہ ایگریکلچر پاکستان کی جو ریڑھ کی ہڈی سمجھی جاتی ہے اس کو فوکس نہیں کیا گیا، اور اسی طریقے سے جو ہمارا اینول گروتھ ریٹ تھا وہ 2.6 سے ریڈیوس ہوا 1.9 تک. پھر ہم نے انڈسٹریز کو پڑھا کہ جس طریقے سے انڈسٹریز پہ زیادہ توجہ دیا گیا اور ان کا اینول گروتھ ریٹ 7.7 رہا فرام 1947 ٹو 1958. پھر ہم نے ڈیئر اسٹوڈنٹ پڑھا کہ کس طریقے سے ڈیفنس پہ زیادہ ہم نے خرچہ کیا، کیونکہ بھارت ہمارا پڑوسی ملک ہے، اور آپ جانتے ہیں کہ انٹرنیشنل ریلیشنز میں نیبرز could not be changed. ہمسایوں کو آپ تبدیل نہیں کر سکتے، اور ان کے ساتھ ہماری پہلی لڑائی ہوئی تو ہمارا سارا خرچہ اور فوکس جو ہے وہ سیکیورٹی اسٹیٹ ہم بن گئے، اور آرمی پہ ہم نے خرچے شروع کیے، اور وہ اب تک جاری ہیں. پھر ہم نے اس کے بعد جو ہے وہ پڑھا کہ کس طریقے سے ادارے پاکستان میں بنے اور وہ ان اداروں نے کیا کیا کردار ادا کیا، اور لاسٹ میں ہم نے سم اپ کیا کہ وہ کون کون سے پلاننگز تھے، اکنامک پلاننگ، جو کہ فرسٹ فیز میں اڈاپٹ کیے گئے. ڈیئر ایوری ون، میں آپ لوگوں کے لیے اس طرح کی ویڈیوز لاتا رہوں گا. آپ میرے اس چینل کے ساتھ جڑے رہیے اور اس کو آپ سبسکرائب کرتے رہیں. انشاءاللہ پاکستان اسٹڈی اور پولیٹیکل سائنس کے ساتھ جتنے بھی سبجیکٹس ہیں ان پہ میں آپ لوگوں کے لیے اس طرح کے ویڈیوز بناتا رہوں گا. تھینک یو.